Yo guys, what is going on? Noah Brewer here, back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about staying organized with your Facebook ads, and really this is just about what columns you should be looking at. So let's go into this. I'm sharing my screen right now. You should be able to see we're on a test ads manager. So I don't run any ads on here. This is just the Maxi Beauty store that I don't use. I just have it up to show you guys cool things that I do. But if you look here, there's a lot of stuff. Okay, I know that it can be pretty intimidating if you're new to this. There's a lot of things here that you might not know what they mean and stuff, but if you watch my channel, I break down most of these things, video by video. But today we're going to be focusing on this button right here, the columns button. So the columns button basically allows you to control what you're seeing right here. So right now we have errors, delivery, cost and ROAS, budget. So these types of things, this is like the data that you're looking at when you're analyzing ads. Now, there's a lot of, garbage out there about what you should be looking at, what matters, like cost per click, relevance score, and I keep those things completely out of my site. Like, I don't really care about them. I don't care how many views the video is getting. I don't care about the click-through rate. None of that stuff matters to me, and I'll explain this as I go in. As you can see, Facebook already has a bunch of different columns pre-set up for you that you can just come in here and click them. So we have the delivery column, which this is basically just delivery. Like, it tells you like how your ad is delivering. It'll say if it's active or if it's turned off, which you can see over here anyways. But yeah, so there's a bunch of different ones. You have like cross device. Like, I don't even know what most of this stuff is, honestly, but I don't really use them. But delivery is, I just use it to check if an ad didn't get approved or something. But if you click columns right here, it's going to bring you to this place where you can actually customize them and set them as default. So setting it as default means whenever you open up your ads manager, this is going to be the default thing that pops up in your column. So we're going to replace that. Right now it's set to performance, and yours probably will be too, unless you've changed it in the past. So we're actually going to make a custom column set and set it as our default. And I'll explain why I have this column set, and I'll show you what exactly it is. So you want to click here on customize columns, and it's going to pop up this thing right here. Now all of your current options are going to be listed right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of that. So first thing that I put in, and this is like the most important thing, is amount spent. And don't worry about ad set name or campaign name or ad name, because you can't change that. That's always going to be there, which is a good thing because we want that there. But yeah, the first thing is amount spent, and that just tells you how much you spent in total, or whatever date range you're on. That's how much the ad has spent. It's not an estimation or anything. It's exactly how much. The next one is reach. So this is just going to basically show you how many people have actually seen the advertisement. Whether they're just scrolling through their feed or they see it on Instagram stories, like whatever. They're not clicking it. They're not watching the video. They're not doing any of that stuff. They're literally just seeing the ad on their feed. So that's all that this means. The next one is link clicks. This is pretty self-explanatory, but we want to see how many people are clicking the link, and I mainly have this in here just to compare it to the reach. And I know that that's what click-through rate is for, and that's why we don't need it, because it's really not that important. And with my column set, it tells you all that you need. So next, what we want to do is we actually just want to type in website, and this is going to bring up a bunch of different options. And this is the new column. This is the new column interface. Now, if you've been doing Facebook ads for a while, you know that the old column interface used to be a lot more simple than this. They didn't have total, like you didn't have to check all this stuff off. But it is new, and it's part of the reason why I'm making this video, is to just go through and show you exactly how to set this up, even with this new interface. I figured it out pretty quickly. But we see add to carts right here, and what we want to do is we want to check off total. Now that's going to pop something over here with a bunch of checks under it. So what we're going to do is just uncheck all of those. And website adds to cart offline on Facebook. You don't need any of that. You just want the regular adds to cart here. And we're going to do the same exact thing for checkouts initiated. So now we have, first you spend the money, and then the people see the ad, and then they click the ad, and then they add it to their cart, and then they go to checkout. See how it's kind of all unfolding like a funnel, right? Like we can see how much we spent, all the way over to the left, and then see how many people converted the farther right we go. And this has been the way that I've been looking at my advertisements since I started. So what comes after they check out? Purchase. So I'm actually just going to come up here and type purchase so I don't have to waste time looking. But I'm just going to basically select purchases, and I'm going to select total, and I'm going to select cost, and this is purchases and then cost per purchase. And then I am also going to select value. So this is the purchases conversion value. And again, I'm going to uncheck those things below them because I do not need them. And I'm also going to click total next to the purchase ROAS. And I'm also going to uncheck the website purchase ROAS. So this basically concludes the way that I set up my columns. And yes, I do them in this very specific order. And if you don't have them in this order, then it's not speaking my language. This is how I do it. But there's a couple different variations to this that I'm okay with, and sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. It really depends on the account. And one of the variations is with delivery in the beginning, or also budget in the beginning. And the reason for this is some stores I'm actually scaling budgets, and some stores sometimes the ads will get disapproved, or maybe they'll get put into pending review, and that's what this delivery column will tell you right here. But just for now, I'm not going to include those because I don't need them in this specific situation. But yeah, you'll be able to go through these later on. But basically, down in the bottom left here, you have a button called Save as Preset. And you can basically call it Ecom, you can call it Noah, whatever you want. I'm just going to call it Noah. And once you have this, so this is basically how the columns are going to appear once you actually have them. This is what I was talking about. All the way to the left, you're going to have how much you spend, and then, which is the beginning of the funnel, right? That's the first thing you do is spend the money. And then as you move more to the right, you get more into the funnel. So basically, you spend the money, the people see the ad, people click the ad, then they add it to their cart, then they go to checkout, then they purchase. So that's like the whole funnel from them seeing the ad to them making a purchase. And then as you move over here to the right, these are our conversions. So we have cost per website purchase, which is basically how much you're spending to get a sale. If you watch my channel, you know that this is one of the most important columns right here. Right to the next of it, you have purchases conversion value, and this is going to tell you how much the people spend on your website. And then you have the purchase ROAS, which is for every dollar that you spend, that's what you get back. So if you have a 1.7 ROAS, if you spend $1, you'll get back $1.70. So it's pretty simple. I'm not going to go in depth into what all these columns mean. You can pretty much Google that stuff. It's pretty simple. But this is exactly how I set them up. And then in order to set this column set as your default, which I do recommend doing, you click Set as Default right here, and boom, it should have the default button right next to it. And then whenever you refresh your screen, of course it's not going to set to the default because of my luck, but by the way, if you do set it to your default, it will load up on this. I don't know why it didn't just there, probably because I just refreshed it. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple stuff. That was how I set up my columns. So diving more into organization, we're now going to get into what I name my campaigns, my ad sets, and my ads, and why. So we're going to go ahead and create a campaign right here. And we're just going to switch to quick creation because that's easier for me. We'll switch this to conversions because why not? So for a campaign name, basically what I do is I name it the name of whatever it is you're testing. If you're doing lead generation or something else, I do it a little bit differently, but I'm going to talk about e-commerce here first. All I do is I just name it the name of the product, the country that you're targeting, and the budgets that you're using. So let's say this is the first campaign that we're making for a product. We're going to use the golf club example again. Okay, so we're going to say golf club worldwide, because if you're following my strategy, you're making worldwide ad sets, unless you're watching this in like 2 years from now or something. But so yeah, worldwide. And then let's start off with $5 a day budgets. So this is basically going to tell you, this campaign is for this product, you're targeting this country, and this is the budget. Now another thing that you can put in here is also the break-even point. So let's say it has a break-even point of $45. You can just throw that in there like that, or you can say break-even point 45 or something. Something along those lines, just to remind you, so you can keep an eye on your, keep an eye on your cost per purchase. So for the ad set name and the ad name, just leave it for now because I'm gonna edit them later. So here we have the campaign name, and then we'll hop over to the ads. And honestly, I just leave the ad named whatever I want. The only time that I would ever change it is if you're testing different variants. In that case, if you plan on testing different variants, you can say like variant 1, so that you know what variant the ad is. But yeah, you can call it variant 1 just so that you know what the ad is. But just for now, I'm just gonna leave it like variant 1, you know, in case I decide to split test any copies later on. But let's talk about the ad set now. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you know, since I started, which was around June of last year, you know that I used to name my ad sets really, really long and complicated. And the reason that I was doing this is because that's the way that I was taught to do it, but I realized that there was a better way. I used to put the country that I was targeting, and then the ages, so let's just do 18 plus, F/M, and then I would put whatever I'm targeting, and then I would put that, and then I would put the budget. So this is the way that I used to name my ad sets, and the problem with it is it's just so long. Like, as you guys know, I put the country in the campaign name, so we already know what that is. I put the budget in the campaign name as well, so I already know what that is. I always optimize for purchase, so I know what that is. And then I always do 18 plus and male and female when starting out, so I already know what that is. And that just leaves us with golf. So that's very simple, right? And the reason why I chose golf, I haven't gotten into it yet, but basically I just name the ad set whatever it is that I am targeting. Very simple. And if I'm narrowing down by engaged shoppers, let's pop engaged shoppers in here. So if I choose to narrow it down by engaged shoppers, then I'll put a little slash here, and then I'll just say ES. So when I publish this and I'm analyzing all the ad sets, you know, no matter how many there are, I know exactly what I'm targeting, and if I ever want to know what country, it's in the campaign name, so I already know, and the budget as well. Or another way that you could do that if you're messing around with different budgets is just put the budget column in here, which I talked about early on, and that's part of the reason why I do that. But yeah, very simple. I just name it whatever I'm targeting. The ad, I don't really care too much what it's named. And the campaign name, I named the name of the product with the country and the budget and the break-even point if you need that reminder. But yeah, so this is how I name campaigns, ad sets, and ads. So getting more into this, now we're going to be talking about how I name my custom audiences and how that transfers over to lookalikes and why. So we're going to create a custom audience right now. And I already have videos on this. If you haven't seen them, maybe I'll put a card in up top, or I'll put the link in the description or something. But basically, everybody knows about audiences. If you don't, go check out my other videos. But I'm just going to create like a basic website traffic for the first example. So all website visitors in the past 30 days. Now, I name my audiences in a very specific way. And a lot of people just kind of throw like, oh, all site visitors 30, right? Like very simple. Which mine is kind of similar to this, but I do a couple things differently, and it really depends on your situation. But the first thing that I always start with in a custom audience name is retargeting. And this is so that when I'm making the actual retargeting ad, I know that this is the retargeting audience and it's not a lookalike or it's not a saved audience or anything like that. So anytime that I make a custom audience, I always start it out with retargeting. And then what I do after that is I put PV, which stands for page view, which, you know, it's the same thing as all website visitors. And then I'll put the that's also known as the pixel event, right? So if I had which I don't actually have it, but like let's say I just had search here, instead of putting PV, I would say search, right? So it's the same thing no matter what. It's the same pixel event, whatever, no matter what it is. But for now, let's just stick with the page view. And then I put how many in the past, how many days it is. So if it's in the past 30 days, I'll put 30. If it's in the past 180 days, I will put 180 here. And then right here, I'll put one or two things. Whatever page this custom audience is from, whatever video this custom audience is from. If you're doing a video, custom audience or a video view custom audience or anything like that, or whatever, if it's a full website one, which is what this is. See, I'm not putting in any specific link. There is a way for you to put in a specific link. And if you were putting in a specific link, this is where, like, let's say you were sending people to a collections page and you wanted to make a custom audience on a collections page, then I would simply say collections page if I've had the link of a collections page right here. But we're not doing that. We're just doing a full website, just everybody who's ever been on the website in the past 180 days. So I'll just put FW, and that will be the name of my audience. So when I look at this, I know exactly what it is. It's a page view 180. Everybody who's viewed a page on my website, on any page in my website in the past 180 days. And it's the retargeting audience. So we'll just go ahead and create that. And it's very simple. I'll show you guys a couple different examples, like with a video view audience. And so we'll just come down here to video. We're in the video option, and basically if you don't know what I did, I just went to video and then choose content type, and then this is where you would choose your video. But this is people who viewed at least 3 seconds of your video. So of course I'm going to start off with retargeting, and then instead of PV, this pixel event is actually video views. So I'm just going to put a VB in there. And what number is it? This is 3 seconds, so I'll just put 3 sec as a short one. And then the amount of days, which is right here in the past 365 days. And then if I have multiple videos for one product, I might just put video 1, or I might put ad video or cold traffic video, you know, whatever you want to put in there so that you know exactly what video it's an audience of. But yeah, I hope that this was sufficient in telling you how to name audiences. Alright, so I'm going to get into naming ad sets if it was a retargeting ad. So just like when we do interest targeting, we're actually going to get rid of these because it's a retargeting ad set. When you come in here to custom audiences, you can actually see all your lookalikes, all your custom audiences, and here's the one that I just made. And thankfully I named it correctly so I know exactly what it is. So we're just going to go ahead and click it, and the best way to do this is just copy like from here on. And then what I do is, if it's a retargeting campaign, you don't have to put retargeting here. But if you're doing it in a normal campaign, do put retargeting here. That's basically it. And that basically tells me exactly what's in this ad set. It's a full website PV180 retargeting audience. And yeah, I mean, it's more simple than you might think. But I mean, that's pretty much it for this video. As you can see, I keep everything very simple and straightforward. And you know, everything that I do and I look at, I know exactly what it is at any given time. And it's just like my own little secret code that I've built up over the year. I hope this video has provided you with a lot of value, and I hope that it's able to help you out. If it did, leave a like below and drop a subscribe, hit the bell. It really helps out my channel. And if you like these videos, drop a comment. Maybe I'll make another one on organization and different aspects of this business. But as for this video, this is Noah Brewer, and I'm out. Peace.